Hello everybody, Deb here on day something of season 2 of my 100-day challenge. I'm going to take you on a little trip back in time, yes, to the beginning of December, when I mentioned that everybody was leaving the salon I was at. And we made the phone call to the manager with some little just nothing thing going on to find out, I could get some information on his intentions. I never received a call back. So I called again 2 days later to say it was freezing cold in there. Could he please turn up the heat? Never got a call back, and it really didn't get any warmer either. So then I wrote a lovely letter saying, "Hi there, I'm not going to pay my rent this week, just in case you plan on breaking my contract at the end of the month, so that I'll have a security deposit to move somewhere else." I didn't get a response from that. Well, the salon license was due to expire on December 31st. So during the month of December, I have been wandering about aimlessly looking for another room to rent to set up my aesthetics business. And I found one I liked that was $80 more a week than what I was paying. I'm paying $175, and it had no sink, and she wanted a $1,000 deposit, which is quite unreasonable for our industry. Usually it's a week or two of rent as a deposit. And then I found another place that was $180 a week for a teeny tiny little itty bitty room that I took a paper drawing of my facial bed and put in there and realized you couldn't walk around the bed. But they offered to rent me 2 rooms, and instead of $360 a week, they'd only charge me $340 a week, but they would charge me $680 deposit. And I'd have to use a shampoo bowl as my sink. So needless to say, I was getting a little despaired that I could not find a room. So in my little head, being the manifesting genius that I am, I just kept saying, the perfect room will come about, perfect room will come about, the perfect room will come about. So we fast forward to December 20th. Still have not located a room. I keep going back to the one that costs way too much money, hemming and hawing about it, trying to figure out how to make that work and not have to pay $340 a week for rent. And I find another room a little further away, odd angles, for $220 a week. But it was very dirty, needed to be painted, was being used as a storage room, really wasn't going to work out. And as I was driving back towards my home and my area, I just thought, this is just not the drive my clients would make from, well, some of them would still come, but you don't want to inconvenience your clients any more than you have to. When they've been loyal for 6 years, you try to be very nice to them. So I still kept manifesting in my mind that this perfect room was going to come, this perfect room was going to come. I really kind of thought the first lady that had the big room for $250 was going to change her mind. That was all I could come up with. So now we fast forward to the, the Friday before Christmas. That's the 21st? Yes, that's the 21st. It's not a real fast forward, that's only a day. That's when the guy from the large place calls and said, okay, this is pretty much it. Final offer, take it or leave it. And I get the call about 2. I was with a client, so at 4, I called him back. I thought, okay, that's got to be it. I will just go take that room. So I called him back, got the answering machine. Well, the Friday before Christmas, he went home early. I was all set to go sign the contract on the room I didn't want, and he went home early. All right, so now we're the week of Christmas. Most people take off Monday. Well, actually, most salons are closed on Monday, so there's no looking for a room on Monday. Then we got Christmas is there, and no looking for a room on Christmas. And I waited for him to call me back on Wednesday because I had left him a message. Call me back when you're in the office. No call on Wednesday, no call on Thursday. So now we're the Thursday before the salon license expires on Monday. We're getting down to the wire here. So, I am driving back towards my lovely town of Allen from my little place in Plano on my way to the bank. And I'm thinking, well, all right, I've looked at all the salons. I wonder if the lady at Sheer Ego, which is a salon that had just opened a year ago, still had an esthetician, and if she would be willing to lease me her room, because she has employees, and most people with employees aren't going to lease rooms. So I drove over to the bank, and, I've been asking everybody, do you know anyone, do you know anyone, do you know anyone? So I get to the bank and I ask my banker, okay, I'm on my last hope here. Monday's going to be a holiday. I need to have a room like today. So I said, do you know anyone who has a salon with a room? She says, well, have you been over to Sheer Ego? Now, I got to tell you, the fact that anyone even knew this salon existed was funny in its own. The fact that I had just thought about asking Sheer Ego is funny in its own. I mean, those of you who understand intuition and the way of all this works would probably not think this too funny at all. However, it still always amazes me when things like that happen. So, she says, have you tried Sheer Ego? I said, well, I was just thinking about that. She said, well, a friend of mine had talked to her about leasing that room, and she had given her the go-ahead. And I thought, oh, well, then she might already have leased it. So then I get back in my car, and I just really was still hemming and hawing over where to do it, and I almost just turned and went home. I said, no, Deb, you've got to find a room. You really don't want to be paying $340 a week, so just go ask. So I drove on over there. I said, hi, Teresa, do you remember me? And she goes, yeah, because I knew her before she opened her salon. That's how I knew she had a room. I said, would you be interested in leasing out your room? She said, sure. Okay, is that just too easy? All you got to do is say, the perfect room will show up. Well, all we got to do is be patient enough to wait. So she says, sure. I said, how much do you want for it? And she goes, well, I don't want to charge you too much. Well, would $120 a week be okay? Granted, I didn't laugh. And she's giving me a fully equipped, already had the facial bed, already had the steamer. Now, granted, that means I have to put all my stuff in storage, but I only have the weekend. It means I don't have to move all the stuff into there and get it set up. I can start work on Wednesday after New Year's Day, and life will be good because I had clients at the other place on Monday and Saturday. So being the person that I am, knowing she's giving me a fully equipped room that really would go for about $2-something, I said, no, 120 won't work. I'm going to give you 180. Well, she was fine with that. Of course she'd be fine with that. Because I'm no longer having to pay a phone line. I'm no longer having to pay for my internet access. And I have a fully equipped room. And there were some other things I wasn't going to have to pay anymore, but I don't remember what they were. Anyways, turns out to be a better deal than I could have asked for in the beginning. So, long story not too short, I have now officially moved into my new facility. I no longer have to stress over that in December. I shouldn't have stressed about it anyways. I should have just kept my mental picture and life would have been fine. But, you know, sometimes we lose the faith. What can I say? So anyways, that's what's going on in my world, and I will check back in with a less long story next time. Bye.